Hello, I'm Marta and I'm gonna tell the story of last New Year's Eve celebration. As my birthday is on the 28th of December, the present I got was a trip to Italy to celebrate New Year's Eve. First of all, we went to Verona and then we spent some days in Milan, and we were going to spend New Year's Eve in Milan. First days were awesome. We had enough time to visit the city, to eat Italian food, which is awesome, and it was great. The weather was also very nice, so it was a perfect trip. But the last day of the year, then we moved to Milan by train, and the trip started to become a little bit messy because our internet was not working in our mobile phones, so we got lost in the moment to get to the apartment. After 2 hours looking for the apartment with all the luggage with us and very tired, we were able to find it, and the woman who worked there was very nice with us, so it was good, and we thought the problems were ended, but it wasn't true. After leaving all the luggage in the apartment, we decided to go to the supermarket and buy some foods and some wine to prepare the New Year's Eve dinner. And when we got home later, we decided to get ready for the night and prepare the dinner, which was very good. Our plan was to go outside after dinner to the Duomo and stay for the countdown to New Year. The problem started again. When we were trying to reach the Duomo, as we didn't have internet, we got lost again, but it was night, so it was even more difficult to find places. So while we were waiting for the bus, we met a Chinese couple, and they were very nice because they offered to help us to find the Duomo, and at least it was okay. But when we reached the Duomo, we started to find more and more people. It was very crowded. It was packed. So it was very difficult to get to the cathedral. It was almost impossible to see it. So we started to get very overwhelmed because there were very people. We were very stressed. And we started to become surrounded by lots of people, drunk, making noise. Some of them were aggressive, and we started to be a bit scared. And unfortunately, when the new year arrived, we didn't even notice because there were many people, many noise, and we didn't hear the countdown. So we were a little bit sad because it's supposed to be a very nice trip to spend New Year's Eve in another country, and we even didn't notice when the new year arrived. But problems didn't end here because when we tried to get back home, because we were a bit disappointed about the night, we tried to find some public transport to reach home, and they were all closed because it's a night where a lot of people goes outside and everything was collapsed. So we decided to take a taxi because it's the easiest way and the fastest way to get home. So after this, we decided to go back home because we were a little bit disappointed about the night. And so we tried to catch the bus or the train to the apartment. But as this night a lot of people is outside, all the public transport were collapsed. So we decided just to stop a taxi because it's the easiest and fastest way to go back to the apartment. But as we didn't have internet, we decided to go to the police and ask them if they could help us. But they told us that it was impossible to help us because there were a lot of people and they were collapsed and so on. So we were a little bit stressed, even more than before. And we just decided to walk by the street and try to stop a taxi. But we thought it was our idea, but everybody had the same idea. So lots of people in Milan city center was trying to catch a taxi. So taxis were full, and even if you try to stop them, they said, no, it's impossible, there's a lot of people. So we walked for 1 hour and a half, I think. It was raining, it was very cold, and it was impossible to catch a taxi. We were really stressed, scared, and worried because we didn't know how to get back to the apartment, sleep. It was like 3 a.m. and New Year's Eve, and we couldn't go back home. So I was almost crying, really worried and sad because we thought the night was going to be very different. And in this moment, we saw a hotel, a very luxury hotel, and we decided to go inside and ask them for help. Fortunately, the staff in the hotel were really nice and they helped us to find a taxi. So the taxi came to the hotel to pick us up even if we were not staying in the hotel. So at this moment we were very happy to finally have a way to go back home and rest and start a new year next day with more energy and with more luck. But after this trip, I wasn't feeling sad because I thought that these problems can happen. But the important thing is that we managed to solve it and we enjoyed the rest of the trip. We saw Milan. We ate a lot of pizza, pasta, and enjoying Italian culture. And it was a very, very nice trip. So the lessons learned from this trip is that you must try to organize the trip before and get a map, so if your internet is not working you will be able to reach everywhere.